I bought my parents a house. My brother bought them nothing. Guess who's the favorite? I know this is gonna sound petty, and maybe it is petty, but damn it, I'm tired of pretending it doesn't get to me. I'm 32, I've been working in IT since my mid-20s, did the whole live below your means, stack your savings, invest smart thing. I don't drive a Lambo or anything. I still rock a used Civic and I meal prep like a broke college kid. But I managed to do okay. Last year, I bought my parents a house. A modest one. 3 bedrooms, decent backyard, old but well-maintained. Nothing flashy, just a real home. No more leaking roof, no more crappy landlord who takes 6 weeks to fix a toilet. I wanted to give them something real, a place that was theirs. It wasn't just a gift. It was my way of saying, hey, I see everything you've done. I remember the sacrifices. I'm grateful. But here's the kicker. I'm still not the favorite. A younger brother, Jake, is 24. He's charming, charismatic, and the human embodiment of he's just figuring things out. He's been figuring it out since he dropped out of college 5 years ago. He's had more jobs than I've had haircuts. Uber driver, dog walker, part-time barista, briefly tried to be a YouTuber. We don't talk about that one. Nothing sticks. But no matter what, my parents adore him. Always have. He could show up late to Christmas dinner, drunk and with unwrapped gas station gifts, and my mom would say, "Oh, Jakey, you're so funny." Meanwhile, I'm the one carving the turkey, paying for the damn meal, and getting side-eyed for not calling more often. When I handed them the keys to the house, I thought maybe, just maybe, things would change. It was a quiet Sunday. I drove them to the new place without telling them where we were going. My dad thought I was just showing them a house I was considering for myself. When we pulled into the driveway, I handed my mom the keys. "This is yours," I said. "It's paid off, it's all yours." She started crying. Might have got quiet in that way dads do when they're trying not to cry. For a moment, I felt like I'd finally done it. That invisible scale that had always tipped toward Jake, maybe I just balanced it. That feeling lasted about 3 weeks. They moved in, of course, took a few days to settle. I helped them carry boxes, patch up some old paint, even installed new curtains with Mom. She smiled a lot that week, said things like, "I still can't believe you did this, and you always were the responsible one." But then Jake came to visit. He showed up late as usual. No call, no heads up. Just walked through the front door like he owned the place, hoodie, unshaven, that oops, I woke up at 2 p.m. energy he carries like a badge of honor. "Oh," he said, looking around. "This place is nice, y'all got lucky." I waited for my mom or dad to say, "Actually, your brother bought this for us," or even just a quick say thank you. Nothing. Instead, my dad laughed and said, "Well, it's your home too, Jake." "I'm sorry, what?" I kept my mouth shut, didn't want to make it awkward, but inside I was fuming. Not because I wanted a damn trophy, I wanted recognition. Just once. But Jake, he always glides through life like there's a red carpet rolled out under his feet. And my parents, they're the ones holding the velvet rope open. Growing up, it was always like this. I got straight A's, they said good job and moved on. Jake got a C+ in math and it was, "We're so proud of you, buddy." I remember one time in high school, I won a statewide programming competition. First place, trophy, scholarship, the works. I was buzzing with pride. That same week, Jake got suspended for skipping class to go to the skate park. Mom cried for him. "It's just a phase," she said. "He's going through a lot." I guess I was never going through anything. I was just the default setting, dependable, quiet, not a screw-up, the kid you don't worry about. And the worst part, I played into it. I became the overachiever, the fixer, the adult in the room, because deep down I thought maybe, just maybe, if I kept showing up, kept proving myself, they'd finally see me. And here we are, a whole ass house later, and Jake still gets the biggest slice of the emotional pie. About 2 months after my parents moved in, I got a promotion. Senior systems architect, yeah, sounds like something made up, I know. But it came with a raise, more leadership, and the kind of projects that actually make you feel like you're building something that matters. I don't usually brag, but this one felt big. So I did something I almost never do. I called my parents just to share the news. "Hey," I said, "got some good news, I'm getting promoted." My mom paused. "Oh, that's nice, sweetie." "That's it, that's all I got, that's nice." Then she launched into a story about how Jake might start a food truck with his friend Todd, who makes the best sliders you've ever tasted. I shit you not, she was giddy. Like, can you imagine, our Jakey a business owner? Todd, for the record, once got banned from Dave and Buster's for fighting a claw machine. Entrepreneur of the year. Anyway, I got off the phone feeling like someone had popped my balloon with a rusty fork. I didn't even tell them about the bonus. What's the point? Round that time, I started seeing someone. Her name's Elise. We met at a mutual friend's board game night. She smoked me at Codenames and laughed like she knew exactly what that meant. Elise is sharp. The kind of woman who asks good questions, listens between the lines. We'd only been on a few dates, but there was a natural comfort there. She made it easy to talk about stuff I usually bury. One night we were walking after dinner, and I mentioned the house. I don't know why. I wasn't trying to impress her or anything. Just came out. Wait, she said. You bought your parents a house, like paid in full. I shrugged. Yeah, just felt like it was time. They were renting this crummy place and… That's incredible, she cut in. Like, genuinely, that's some real love language shit. I laughed. Tell that to them. I think they still prefer my brother. She stopped walking. Wait, seriously. So I told her. Not everything, not yet, but the gist. The favoritism. The way Jake can do no wrong. How my wins barely register. She didn't say anything for a bit. Just looked at me. That kind of long, calculating look people give when they're turning over something fragile in their hands. That's messed up, she finally said. You know that, right? I shrugged again, but it came out smaller this time. It's just how it is. No, she said. It's how they are. And it sounds like you've been bending yourself into a pretzel trying to earn what he gets just by showing up. I didn't know what to say. It hit harder than I expected. Because yeah, I had been doing that, for years, and the worst part, I thought it was normal. Later that week, Elise came with me to Sunday dinner. I'd warned her, told her Jake might show up, and that my parents might dote on him like he just came back from war. She said she wanted to see it for herself. Jake arrived halfway through the meal. Hair messy, same hoodie from 3 days ago if I had to guess. He walked in like it was his house, which, let's remember, it isn't, and immediately grabbed a plate. Mom lit up like a damn Christmas tree. Jakey, we saved your favorite. Sit here, honey. She literally scooted my dad down a chair to make space for him at the head of the table. Lise watched it all with this unreadable expression. Later, when we were driving back, she said, Okay, that was insane. I told you, I said. No, she replied. You warned me, but actually seeing it, it's like they forget you exist the second he walks in. You're not exaggerating. She paused, then added, I'm glad I came, but I'm also kind of furious for you. The next few days, Elise's words kept bouncing around in my head like a stray marble. It's like they forget you exist the second he walks in. You've been bending yourself into a pretzel. You're not exaggerating. I wanted to ignore it, bury it under work emails and gym sessions, but something had cracked open. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. The following Sunday, we were invited over again. I told Elise she didn't have to come if she didn't want to. She just raised an eyebrow and said, Oh, I'm coming. I've got front row tickets to this emotional circus. This time, I knew Jake would be there from the start. He had apparently moved back in temporarily, which, in Jake speak, meant, until someone kicks me out. He was between things, according to Mom. The fact that he was 24, jobless, and living rent-free in a house I paid for was apparently just another fun little life chapter. Dinner started off the usual way: meatloaf, overly sweet iced tea, Mom trying too hard to make things nice. Jake made a dumb joke about crypto, and everyone laughed like he was the next John Mulaney. I barely said a word. Elise kept giving me these side glances like, you good? I was. Halfway through, my mom brought up Jake's latest brilliant idea, a podcast. I think it's such a cool concept, she said, turning to me. Don't you think you could help him with the tech side? You know, all that computer stuff. My fork clinked a little too hard on the plate. I work 60 hours a week, I said. I'm not really looking to produce Jake's podcast. She blinked. I just thought you'd want to support your brother. I took a breath. Elise looked at me like, now's the time. So I said it. Why is it always me who has to support him? Why is it always me who has to show up, clean up, pay up? Silence. The kind of silence that feels like the whole room just dropped in temperature. Dad cleared his throat. Hey now, that's not fair. No, I said, because I think it's pretty damn fair. I bought you this house. I've been helping for years, and all I get is that's nice, sweetie, while you bend over backwards for Jake because he says he wants to talk into a microphone for a living. Mom looked hurt. We didn't ask you to buy us a house. That one landed like a punch to the gut. No, I said slowly. You didn't, but I did, because I thought it would mean something. Jake finally chimed in, smirking like he was watching a soap opera. Dude, what's your problem? You sound bitter as hell. Bitter, I said, turning toward him. I'm not bitter, Jake. I'm done. Done pretending this is normal. Done acting like I'm crazy for noticing that no matter what I do, I'll never be the one you guys show up for. Dad shook his head. You always were so dramatic. There it was, the final stamp. Lise reached out under the table and squeezed my hand, which is the only reason I didn't completely blow up. I stood up. You know what? I think I've had enough dinner for tonight. I turned to leave, and for once no one stopped me. In the car, Elise didn't say anything at first, just rested her hand on my arm as we drove. Finally, she said, I'm proud of you. That was hard as hell, but you said what needed to be said. I nodded. It didn't change anything, though. No, she agreed, but it changed you, and that matters more. A few days later, Elise texted me out of the blue. What are you doing this weekend? You need to leave town with me, trust me. I hesitated. My brain immediately tried to come up with excuses: work, laundry, code reviews, whatever. But I paused. For once, I didn't want to stay in the loop of stress, responsibility, or emotional cleanup, so I just replied, "Where are we going?" She sent a pin, a quiet lakeside cabin about 3 hours out. No Wi-Fi, just trees, food, and you not talking about Jake. So we went. The drive was easy. Windows down, some low-key playlists, soft laughter in between gas station snacks, and her narrating ridiculous Yelp reviews. I hadn't felt this light in, maybe ever. The cabin was basic but perfect. Wood everywhere. A fire pit. A deck that looked out over the water. That night, we cooked pasta on a little stovetop, poured cheap red wine, and sat on the deck in silence, just listening to the wind. At some point, Elise said, "You're quieter here, but not in a bad way, more like less armor." That hit me harder than I expected. I took a sip of wine and said, "I don't know who I am without all that armor." She looked at me for a second. "Then let's figure it out." The next day we went hiking. Elise led the way, stopping occasionally to point out weird mushrooms or to make fun of my city shoes. It felt good. Simple. Like life had edges again, not just the blurry stress of work and family guilt. At the top of the trail, there was a clearing overlooking the lake. We sat down on a flat rock, wind picking up, sky wide and open above us. I didn't even mean to say it. It just tumbled out. "When I was a kid," I began, "I used to think maybe Jake was adopted, or that I was, because it never made sense how different we were treated." Lee stayed quiet, eyes on the lake. "I'd win awards, make honor roll, do all the right things. They'd nod, say, 'Good boy,' and then go help Jake with his science fair volcano that he didn't even build himself, and he'd get a standing ovation for it." She gave a half smile. "So you just worked harder, tried to earn it." "Exactly," I said. "Every time I thought this'll be the thing, the degree, the job, the house. Maybe if I fix everything for them, they'll look at me the way they look at him." Lise turned toward me, really looking. "Do you still think that way?" I opened my mouth, closed it. Then, I don't know, less than before, I guess. We sat like that for a while. Eventually, she leaned her head on my shoulder. "You're allowed to want love," she said, "but not everyone is capable of giving it the way you need. That's not your fault." A wind blew through the trees. Something inside me softened. I didn't feel fixed. I didn't feel over it. But for the first time, I felt like maybe I didn't have to earn peace. Maybe I could just choose it. When we got back from the cabin, something in me had shifted. It wasn't dramatic. I didn't quit my job or delete my parents from my phone. I just slowed down. I stopped trying so hard. I didn't text my mom every Sunday like clockwork. I didn't call to update them about work wins or ask about Jake. And when things were quiet, I didn't rush to fill the silence. Instead, I focused on myself. I rearranged my apartment, bought a new desk I'd been eyeing for months, reorganized my kitchen, and donated half the stuff I never used. I enrolled in a course I'd been putting off, not because it would help my career, but because I was curious. I even started running again. Early mornings, no music, just my breath, my feet, and the cold sting of air reminding me I was alive. That's when Mom called. "Hi, honey," she said, like nothing had happened, like we hadn't had that meltdown of a dinner. "We've got a bit of a situation." I braced myself. "It's Jake," she said. "He made some investments, thought he could double his money in crypto or something, and now he's in debt. He didn't mean to, of course. It just happened. And now he's got a letter. They're saying he might get taken to court." I didn't say anything. She continued, "Your father and I are trying to figure it out, but you know we're not good with this kind of thing. I just thought maybe you could help." There it was. Even after everything, the dinner, the silence, the truth finally spoken, they still saw me as the safety net. I closed my eyes and took a breath. "Mom," I said slowly, "I'm sorry Jake in trouble. I really am, but I can't fix this." Silence. "You always know what to do." "I used to," I interrupted, gently. "Or maybe I just tried really hard because I thought it would make you see me." More silence. "I love you," I said, "but I can't keep doing this. I'm tired. I have my own life to take care of. Jake, going to have to figure this out, and so are you." It was the first time I'd ever heard my mom speechless. After we hung up, I just stood there, phone still in my hand, and let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I didn't feel guilty, not even a little. That was new. That weekend, Elise and I went to farmer's market. We bought too many peaches and a plant I didn't know how to care for. I made breakfast while she danced in the kitchen to some old soul playlist. The sunlight came through the window just right. For the first time in a long time, I felt full. Not because I'd earned it, not because someone else gave it to me. Just because I had finally stopped trying to win a game that was never fair to begin with. And that felt like peace.